I get some money. Every day we blowing gas. Every day we in the mall. Every day we blowing cash. I do this every day. Every day I do this shit. It's just an ordinary day. Every day I get some money. Every day we blowing gas. Every day we in the mall. Every day we blowing cash. I do this every day. Every day I do this shit. It's just an ordinary day.
Hey, it's Phli from Phli Chicago TV, and I'm here with Dave Jeff.
What up, baby?
A very important figure in Chicago. If you didn't know, you're about to find out. So, for the people that don't know who Dave Jeff is, the Phli movement that you got, the Chicago Kids, as I'm wearing right now.
Right, love.
Can you explain your beginnings and who you are?
Man, I'm the sneaker dude. Yeah, that's, call me Sneaker Don. First boutique here in the city. Like, been really rocking with this sneaker culture, this fashion, streetwear piece.
We can't just skip past that though.
What?
You just said the first sneaker boutique in Chicago.
Oh, definitely. Like, it wasn't no boutiques here in the frame of mind to where, like, you think of Supreme or you think of like Atmos or something like that or whatever. That wasn't here. This was before this St. Alfred's. This was Leaders was definitely open, but it wasn't in the same. It was at its infancy, right? In that, and it was just like a different theme of it at the time. But I came in. My whole vision was a black Gap. You know what I'm saying? Like, I loved how when you went in Gap and everything in Gap was Gap. So I'm just like, yo, everything in Fly, everything in the store just gonna be Fly, but we're gonna have all the sneakers to match all of the fresh things and everything like that, and that's where that came from.
So, from my understanding, back in the day, before it was social media, before it was internet, you really had to put in work to get some shoes.
Oh yeah.
Like, it was shoes that only dropped in certain places. You really had to travel and put in footwork and network and build relationships with people to obtain certain shoes just to be able to have them.
Oh yeah. Well,
so you was there during that process.
During the whole process, and not just pushing the culture because of the store and the brand, but also, like, I was the host. Like, I'm a host. Like, I'm an entertainer of ways. Like let me tell you, like, the coldest host, the coldest MC, colder than me is Dougie Fresh. I'll say that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You got Dougie Fresh, you got Dave Jeff, you got Kenny Barnes.
Oh, okay.
That's my man, Kenny. But I was the host of Sneaker Pimps. So Sneaker Pimps is a national sneaker tour, man. It's been all over the world, and I was the host. And going on almost 10 years. And so, like, we got to be in these dope venues. Pop-Up brought everybody on stage from everybody but Kanye and Jay. So everybody else, from the Rick Rosses to the Clips at the time, Big Boy, Cool Kids, Stollies, and all that other stuff.
You would throw events, almost like block party type things.
Well, no. Sneaker Pimps was an actual, like, buy sale type thing, to where it had vendors, because they collabed on some of them with Dunk Exchange.
So you kind of like a sneaker con type thing?
Exactly like a sneaker con type thing.
But before
it was talent. It was a concert too. And so I was the host of the concert. I was the host of the venue. I was the energy of the event, even while people were doing what they were doing with the buy sale trade.
So you created an experience to go along with your shopping.
Well, I didn't create it. Like, I was just the voice. I was the voice. My man Peter and Shay, that was that whole thing of Sneaker Pimps. And they brought me on. Like, I met Peter when he was here in Chicago doing the Sneaker Pimps, probably in a 300 square foot room, and it was art or whatever, and had a little Heineken in a bucket. This was like the first type of Sneaker Pimps, because where he had like art, it was buy, sell, trade with the shoes. Just a little bit, it was more of a display of the footwear of that. And so I met him that day, and then we just got cool, and then as the shows got bigger and everything got bigger, I mean, we've gone from shows that was 250 people to 6,000 people. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's been some heavy crowds, and I've been the voice for all of that. So I've had these relationships with all of the culture, the DJs, the Clark Kents, the Just Blazes, the D Nices, and the Terry Hunters, the Kenny Dopes, and you know, we can go on and on the DJs that are of the culture when it comes to this whole sneaker game or whatever like that. Those are my brothers.
So when you opened your first, when you pioneered the sneaker boutiques in Chicago, what type of work did you have to do to get the shoes to fill your inventory?
Well,
was it based off like networking, or was it more so like you was on the ground?
Well, no. How it all started was even before MySpace, whatever like that. It's like I'm from the Tony Sports family. Like I think I call Tony Sports retail college. You know what I'm saying?
I did an interview with Diego.
Yeah, Diego, right.
And he brought up Tony Sports.
Yeah.
Tony Sports played an important role in Chicago.
So you have it like this. So Tony Sports was the dope mom and pops that pushed the culture of everything new at the time. Like they birthed, they were the space where you could find a Nietzsche, where you could find Karl Malone, all those old brands and stuff like this. Like this is what that was. And so me coming up, I mean, actually, I went on a little vacation. When I came home, Diego hired me, and so I was at the first Tony Sports. It was like 95, 96, and so this is where I got the whole understanding of retail itself, the business. Like Tony ran a dope ship. He kicked off retail culture here, whatever.
Right.
And then so like we were all working at Tony. So it was me, Shannon, Autumn from Sir Madam, that's a brand here. You got Vale from Success. My man Shannon. I mean, a lot of us that are doing things now, industry-wise, whatever.
Yeah, shout out to VDOT, man.
Oh yeah, Vale.
VDOT showed me a lot of love. I did an interview with him, and it seemed like when I talked to Diego at Leaders, he brought up Tony Sports.
Yeah.
And I ended our interview with one keynote that he said. He said, the bag from Tony Sports.
Right.
I'm one of them people that was on that bag.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's one of the characters on the wall.
And then I talked to VDOT at Success.
Right.
And VDOT referenced Tony Sports.
Right.
So
that's why I call it, that was retail college. So all of us that's in the game doing what we're doing now, like that's where we came from. And then it just goes on and on and on. So like when Tony sold his stores, we all, we're doing our own things, whatever, but I went with Diego to the space called Halftime. One of my partners now, very good friend of mine, or whatever, had this and started the store called Halftime. And so we were the staff. It was a guy from New York. And so fresh dude, OG type dude who was serious about the game. Money was right and everything, and we just took the city by storm on 79th and Western. 79th and Western, and so right in the hood. And so Nike wouldn't give us an account at that time, so we went and did it.
I know that still to this day.
Right.
That like St. Alfred, RSVP, they are in certain neighborhoods. And I always thought to myself, that's probably intentionally because
No, it's definitely set up by design. Just like I'm saying, like so me in my fly stores or whatever was High Park. It was definitely a High Park is a melting pot of culture, the whole nine or whatever. And so
that's what a soul is.
Yeah, the soul is. So it was just dope to have this boutique and the brand representing High Park. That's what Fly stands for. I love High Park. This is backwards for I love High Park. So I'm saying, like, when we go back to what I was saying with my man in the store, Second Life Western, Nike wouldn't give us the account. So my man, World Traveler, get down when he went to Japan. He went to Atmos. He went to Atmos. This was then. Shout out to Homeo. You know what I'm saying? Atmos. If you're a true sneaker dude, you know who Homeo is. And Homeo, he know who I am. And that's just how that went down. But I'm saying my man went over there. Probably spent about $50, $60 with him. You know what I'm saying? Had all the stuff shipped back. So that's the equivalent of if you went in St. Alfred right now, and you was from, let's say you was from Budapest, and you came to Chicago, went to St. Alfred, bought $60,000 worth of stuff, had it shipped back to Budapest, and then open shop, set up shop. That's what we did on 79th and Western. Like this is like anybody that know anything about sneakers, the real collectible stuff, the atmosphere linen, the acorns, you know what I'm saying? All those things we had on the wall in sizes. Authentic product, you know what I'm saying? Acorns, all that type of stuff, because we had the merchant. So that was the start of it. That was the start of it all. My man whose store was at the time, he just got into some other things or whatever, so it ended up being my store afterwards, you feel what I'm saying? And so I did, you know, what I knew, you know, liquidated everything, sold the lease to a chain store here or whatever, so they took that space. When I did that, I was up about 50, 60K. When I was up about 50, 60K, came back to the crib. But like before we left there, that's when I started doing shirts. And I started putting sneakers on shirts. This was wasn't nobody putting sneakers on shirts in 2002.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So let's put everything.
Come on, let's talk. Let's put it in perspective. Right.
We got to put everything in the time frame so people understand during these times what was going on.
Right.
So the Tony Sports era for you was what year?
Tony Sports was probably like 90, 95, 94, into 94, into, I went on vacation. I came home like 96.
Okay,
96, so 96, 97, 98.
So then when you set up your sneaker boutique
Fly.
on 79.
Okay, halftime. That wasn't mine. That was my partner's.
Okay,
we worked for him. I worked for him. Diego worked for him. Right.
Okay, so when y'all set that up, around what year was that?
This is about 99, 2000.
Y'all were early.
Nah, Pop, I can tell you, like, we can go, I can tell you stories like, Pop, we did a fashion show with Carl Canal. Then this is when he had the Lifeline, whatever. I just tell you how long ago and how it was, and just how I remember the time of that period is. We did this fashion show. We brought 50 Cent. This one, 50 Cent was brand new. This was right before he blew, right, my brother Dante. Right before he blew up, this was Wankster. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Got him here on Wankster. I mean, so much history in that, because even on that day, the limo driver was who people probably know as Big Unc right now, that rolls with Chief Keef.
Oh, okay.
Dro had the extended Hummer then, but this was before Dro was in the music business or whatever. He was the driver of it. Picked 50 Cent from the airport, stayed right here downtown with it, whatever. As soon as we get out the limo, 50 go work out, right? Later that day, Jam Master Jay was here in the city for whatever reason he was in the city. Now mind you, I had just met Jay probably 2 weeks prior in Atlanta through my cousin. So when I seen him when they was there, it was like, oh man, I just met you. Look, listen, like, just met you. So if this was a Sunday, Pop Jay went home that Monday and died that night. You understand what I'm saying? That's how I know exactly that time frame. So that's halftime.
Y'all was moving and shaking for the city.
Yeah.
In the 90s.
In the 90s.
And it's just amazing to see you still here, relevant.
To God I give all the glory, Pop. To God I give all the glory.
It's a true inspiration for people like me to hear these stories. Now I wanna rewind a little bit.
Okay, come on.
So where did you grow up?
I grew up, I say I was conceived in Chatham. That's where my family, my mother, that side of the family was over there. But we moved to High Park when I was very young. And so like High Park is all I know from like age 6.
Okay, so at what age did you realize you had this fashion bug? Like it was just like, at what age did you realize, like, man, I'm into sneakers, I'm into this fashion thing?
I mean, Pop, I give all that credit to my moms, yo. Like, what my moms used to do on the weekends, we always came downtown. I was always in Water Tower, always in Saks, always in Neiman's or whatever. We would eat down here, Gino's East. That's like, for y'all that don't know, that's some dope deep dish pizza. You know what I'm saying?
one of the best pizza spots in the city.
Right.
I know that.
So that was my weekend. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing, like just the exposure to the fresh. You know what I'm saying? As if you're an adult and if you're a young person and exposed to certain things, your mind is different. You know what I'm saying? And look, that's what we need to do. Message. That's what we need to do with our kids and everybody around here. Not like exposing them things, give them a vision. You know what I'm saying? Like perfect example. We might have thought you could be a president. Obama gave you that image, that picture, like, oh, it can be a black president. You know what I'm saying? So you got to do that, and that's basically what my mother was on. Museums, the fresh. I was wearing Willie wear. I think I wore Willie wear for my 8th grade graduation. You know what I'm saying? Like Genera, Coca-Cola, you know, stuff like that, like hospital tea. You know, that was then. Yeah, that was then. And I'm a Darien. I was part of them then. So that's a whole nother interview, I'm sure. You know what I'm saying?
Man, so you was around the early development of Chicago, and like before Kanye was Kanye, you was around during those times.
Right. Like my brother, very good friend, Ivan Jasper. Was cutting his hair, you know, even then, like Ivan and bring it back to Mustafa's brother, Bilal, they had a group called Jet Life. So that was way back then, because we was all rappers then, it was rappers, producers, you know, and that whole thing. So that's where that came from.
So, like, one thing, I want to step outside. We're gonna get back to talking about the Phli Life Code and the Chicago Kid movement that you got going on. I want to know, like, what was your favorite kicks to rock? Like, if you can pinpoint a shoe that was like, man, that shoe made me want to have them all.
To be honest, that the linen and atmosphere, Air Force One. So linen and atmosphere are the technical colors, but to the street it's just khaki and pinks. That right there was so fresh. That khaki was so clean, and then the pink, real dudes wear pink. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or can wear pink can wear pink and pull it off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that was just always the ill piece right there. That right there kind of really never start my collection. I mean, I had shoes before then, but that particular shoe right there was like, oh, okay, like now I need 2-3 pair of these.
So you being an OG in this game, I mean, I don't know how much more proof y'all need that we sitting here with a real OG. You know what I'm saying? But how do you feel about the game right now? Do you feel shoes are being sold more so on hype? Or is there still quality out there?
Well, no, I mean, it's definitely quality being made. It's definitely dope stuff being made. Like, I think the whole game, the social media, all that stuff, whatever, is what builds the hype, makes the hype, you know what I'm saying, of the shoe, and then certain things are just, overhyped. Well, when you get it, it's like, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of dope shoes. There's a lot of dope shoes that have been slept on. Whatever. So like I'm an Air Force One dude. A lot of stuff that they release, like in this general release type stuff, with the suedes, the solid suedes and all that stuff, butter, you know what I'm saying, crazy. What was slept on was the Flyknit Air Force Ones. Love the Flyknit Air Force. See, the whole thing is, just how you said that, when I first looked at it, it's like, it's kind of deconstruct the Air Force One or whatever. Put them shoes on, yo. Put them shoes on, and they gonna change your life.
You know one shoe that I think was slept on, but was butter.
What?
The Ghostface Aces.
Oh yeah.
Them, the brown joints.
Right, with the leather and all that.
And I mean,
there was maroon.
And I mean, it's certain, in my opinion, it's certain shoes that's hype that don't deserve it.
Right.
But I think it's a balance, right? That's how you feel about it?
I mean, it's like the shoes that have direct collaborations, with direct correlation with our better artists and everything like that. Like, of course, it's gonna be a hype about it. It should be a hype about it because it's their shoe, it's their colorway, it's their their creativity in it. But then there's that some that just like are just hypes because they just hypes. You know what I'm saying? Because this guy, or there's only 100 of them made or whatever like that. I mean, I don't get into all that.
Right. Okay.
I buy what I like. I buy what I know I'm gonna wear.
Okay. My next question. I mean, with we see Virgil doing his thing.
Stizzle from Chicago.
We see Don C doing his thing.
He's from Chicago too.
We see Kanye doing his thing.
He's definitely from Chicago.
We got Chance, Big Mesa. We got
Chicago.
We got all these guys out here.
Vic is from Hyde Park.
We got all these guys doing their thing out here right now.
Right.
And I always ask this question: do you feel Chicago get the respect that we deserve?
I mean, if I say we do. I mean, I think sometimes for the wrong things. I think everybody thinks like we so wild here, and like we go out of town and people like, oh, like man, you're here, like how is it in Chicago or whatever. I mean, it's just like
I get that a lot.
It's just like anywhere else, but just like all the names you just named, all from Chicago. All of the names that you just named, major in culture right now. All the names that you named from here in our moving culture. From Kanye to Virgil to Don to all of that moving culture right here, and they all from here.
And you gotta include yourself in that.
Dave Jeff, I'm all from here.
I gotta include Dave Jeff in that conversation, Diego in that
Diego
conversation.
Ross, Corey from Leaders, you know what I'm saying? Fashion Geek Zoe, that whole thing. Dante, J Boogie, Chicago.
That's why it was real important for me, even though I'm younger. It was real important for me to come and sit down with you.
Thank you.
Have a sit down conversation with Zoe.
Yes, sir. It's my brother.
The game I get to soak up from you, Zoe, Diego,
yes, sir.
Vida.
Yes, sir.
It's just
go holler at Corey though. Go holler at Corey from Leaders.
It's so much game that I just get to sit back and listen to.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a blessing that I get to spread that
Thank you, man.
with my viewers.
I appreciate
and anybody that tuned in, because it's a lot of history that needs to be understood and heard.
It's facts too. I think with the younger generation, because everything is so readily accessible, that they don't have to go back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's so in your face.
Right.
But even using the phones that we're on all day long, Google some of us. Google all the names that you just Googled, and you'll see the histories. You'll see the videos. You'll see the timestamps. You'll see that 2000 or whatever wasn't nobody putting shoes on shirts, but I did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But nobody definitely putting shoe boxes on shirts that's been duplicated by a whole bunch of brands or whatever. Yeah, the box game or whatever now. But this is my handwriting on these shoe boxes, yo. This is Black Lux. This is Linen in the Atmosphere. This is White Carnivals, Black Carnivals. This is the Sean Carter. This is my handwriting on shoe boxes, but this is fact. This was me and my man Punch did this in 2002.
And if y'all can't tell, as we was talking about with Don C, Virgil, and I gotta put my man Dave Jeff in that conversation, because they don't sacrifice on quality.
That's what it is.
The quality is there.
Thank you, bro.
On like the hoodie I got on, the quality is there.
The Chicago Kids, yes sir.
And that's something that I noticed, that a lot of brands, not to single out Chicago, but with these brands that we name, like y'all focus on quality.
You got to, probably got to. Like that's just my thing. Like I mean, you haven't really just seen the fullness of a lot of things that we're capable of doing, and this is why I don't release a whole bunch of stuff all the time. But now that we're in a new space and everything like this, you're probably gonna see a lot more of the creative side, because I want to give you an experience. Just like now you're here, you have on a Chicago Kid hoodie. If you look at the walls and everything, Chicago Kid is big on the wall, God Banger, the definition, and in the beginning it was fly. These are things that's all representation of the clothes, you know what I'm saying? Right. So the next drop, the imagery is gonna be different, the vibe is gonna be different, colors gonna be different, the whole nine. So you get an experience when you come in, and it's just not like, oh, okay, it's cheapo, depot, and then we're moving on.
Right. How do you feel about the brands, certain brands, like I'm seeing a lot of brands come back into style.
Like what?
Like Cross Colors is in Zoomies right now.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm seeing Carl Canal back in stores right now. How you feel about that?
Cross Colors, I know Cross Colors wasn't in the mix for a while, and I think them coming out, they will. I think they can. I'm sure it's a market for them. I think that's why they went the Zoomies route.
Because everybody, all the youngins, everybody that even some people that wasn't around during those times, they getting into it. It's like vintage is coming back. Like they say, everything is come full circle.
But see, once again, people doing their homework. Like Carl ain't really never left mainstream. Carl has Carl Canal stores overseas, the whole nine or whatever. He's been in the mix, stayed in the mix. It just hasn't been like what we were probably used to when he was out or whatever. I mean, Carl is dope. Carl's supposed to be here. Carl supposed to be here a long time ago. Just tell him.
All right, so look. Since I got the opportunity to ask these questions to a real OG sneakerhead,
Thank you.
What would you say was the top 3 shoes from 2017? We too early into 2018 to talk about right now.
2017.
2017. What was the top 3 in your opinion? I know yours gonna be different from a lot of people.
The Jordan, the ones that you have on right now from the 10, from the Virgil's pack, was definitely that. It's that Vapor Max is dope. I like the technology, it'll look, and then
Virgil did his thing. Virgil did his thing on the Vapor Max too.
Yeah, I mean Virgil whole pack. I mean, like if we had to say a pack in the whole, that thing was dope. Don's Air Force One, killer. You know what I'm saying? The mix
and his beaches.
Yeah, the mix of the Air Force One, Air Force Two, Air Force Three type thing, whatever. What else? And one of my favorites that I gotta have that has been showcased but doesn't come out. That Witherspoon, that Sean Witherspoon, that Air Max 97.
Oh yeah,
with the Max on bottom.
I haven't seen that in person.
It's beautiful. It's like corduroy. The material is great. I seen
LeBron wearing that.
Oh yeah, it's a dope shoe. Dope shoe.
So if Phli had an opportunity to collab right now in 2018, I'm not trying to.
With a shoe?
Yeah, for a shoe.
Well, I mean, I've had two of my own Nikes, an Air Max 90. I did a Air Force 25 with Nike.
So you've had.
Oh yeah, I've had these collabs already.
You've had.
There's been a Phli Air Max 90. There's been a Phli Air Force 25.
Man,
there was a Phli Air Force 1 that they say got lost. You know what I'm saying? It, got approved.
We're gonna have to pull up some of them photos so we can show these people.
Yeah. I did a K-Swiss Classic. K-Swiss Classic looked like a Chicago flag. You know what I'm saying? K-Swiss was the white classics. Was if we wasn't wearing all white ones, we was wearing K-Swiss Classics or GV Specials.
Right.
Those were the different looks. You know what I'm saying? Like you put on the K-Swiss Classics, the all whites, maybe some khaki and a polo, whatever. That was our preppy. That was our High Park preppy look. You know, in certain things. So I mean, I redid that shoe. Redid the fabric. It was like suede, nubuck. It was looked like the Chicago flag.
So. If you, I don't want to, I'm trying to figure out a way to word the question because I don't want to make it seem like you got favoritism.
Who would I work with right now?
Who would you want to work with right now?
I mean, of course the majors, like we doing something with Puma.
Puma
doing something with Puma. Oh yeah, like so you probably gonna see a Phli or a Dave Jeff GV special soon with the energy with that. So Adidas basketball, y'all, like not Adidas originals. Adidas basketball has some dope silhouettes that get overlooked, and I only know just because we kind of been in house with them a couple of different times on some design stuff like apparel-wise.
Right.
But it's some things that I would love to do. They have the technology, and they have the silhouettes.
So So Phli, the Chicago Kids, like, where can they find you?
Man, just hit me. My IG, my social handle is @DaveJeff. So you're going to @DaveJeff. That's my name, 2 first names, DaveJeff. And you're going to find everything here. Or @Phli Chicago. And the site is phliworldwide.com. PHLI worldwide.com.
Hey, you already have, man.
Yeah.
Straight from the legends.
Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate
And
y'all.
I just want to say, if I haven't said enough already,
Thank you.
I appreciate your time.
Appreciate
And
you.
it's been an honor to
Thank
sit
you.
here and talk with you, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Flight School TV, man. We out.
Yeah. Dave Jeff.